Good morning, ma'am. My name is Navdeep Sureka, 19BEC 0723 of B1 slot. Now I'll give the review of my project. So the title of my project is VIT bus service. The motivation. From day one, the biggest challenge I and all my friends faced was traveling. And bus service in VIT did help somewhat, but we all often face similar problems. Basically, two major problems. First is the payment. They charge us 15 rupees and it's very hard to get 5 rupees change every single time, and neither they accept online payments. And this causes delay in transaction time as each one of us has to wait for their turn in that small bus. And that's the only reason I run late for classes. Apart from that, we don't even know where the bus is actually at that point. We have a timetable, but bus doesn't run on that timetable, so we have to wait for the bus for very long. And sometimes bus comes and it's almost full, so we had to walk after waiting so long. So these are the two major problems which I'm going to solve using my knowledge in data science in this project. So the solution of the problem which I came up with. The solution is basically very simple. I got this idea when one of my friend called me from his room asking whether there is a bus standing outside hostel or not. So I thought of creating an app which can track the bus and even let us pay using it. The biggest challenge was that the bus in VIT is not controlled by VIT. It is a contract based service. And online payment may cause trouble as there are some network issues in VIT campus. So we thought of creating an app system which can work even without the internet. Students just have to scan their QR code and the transaction will be recorded. So in a nutshell, driver have to scan the QR code or enter the registration number, and if the user is valid and have enough credit in his account, the transaction will be done. All this record will be saved in the students and the driver's device until one of them get connected to the internet. As they connect to the internet, the main database will be updated. So the challenges. First, the system must be very light, both in terms of memory and time. For the user, we need some interface by which they can interact without even typing out everything. We needed a data structure which stores the required information, works as we want it to work, and does not even consume much memory, as we have to send data to the cloud even with the weakest signal we receive. After sketching the idea and the model, I started looking for people who can code along with me, but I didn't find anyone. So I had to learn everything from back end to front end, creating the app and the user interface. After testing out the service, we found out that this helped contractors for the VIT bus service to keep the track of the cash collected by the drivers. Usually drivers do not give out the accurate amount, so I added an admin page where contractors can access all the bus information at the end of the day, and they can tally the amount of money they actually receive from the driver and the amount of money the app is telling them which was collected by the driver. So it's helping everyone, the drivers, the contractor, and even the students. So now I'll just run the code in my system. I'll show this was the code actually. The code I have actually uploaded on the VDrop. I have linked a file which will take you to the GitHub page of mine, and here you will find the code, C++ code. So we'll just run this code in my system and we'll see it. So this is we'll just talk about how it works later. We'll just see how it runs. So we'll just run it right now. Yeah. So it has three sections: student, driver, and admin. So we'll start with student. We can see there are two options: login and sign up. We don't have an account right now, so we'll just sign up. I'll sign up with my ID 19BC 0723, and it's asking me for my name. Yeah. So as you can see, all the default password are ABC123. When we create a new account, all the default password will be set to this, and we can change it later. So we'll just log in. It is redirecting us to the login page. We'll just log in ABC0723, and the password was ABC123. Yeah. Login successful. So it's showing my name, my registration number, and available credit right now on my account. So I have 0 credit. So I can't just pay right now. If I try to pay in some bus, so it will just say sorry, you don't have enough credit. So what we'll do, we'll just go and add some credit to it. We'll just go to how many credits. We'll add 10 credits right now. This is actually a confirmation page. It's like a OTP system, so we can just confirm to get the to complete the transaction. Yes, the transaction was complete and 10 credits are added to account. We can just check it by pressing 5, display the current credit, it's 10. So let's go and pay. So it's asking me for the bus number you are riding on. So in VID we have 6 bus from 1 to 6. So I've used the same numbering pattern. So if I'm riding on bus number 2, we can just select bus number 2, and it's asking me for how many members. Actually what I thought of, like not everyone will have to pay for their own independently. Like I am traveling with my friends, so I can pay for them also. So if I am traveling with 2 of my friends, I can pay for all 3 together, 3 members. Yes, there was 10 credit available in my account and I paid 3. So it was a transaction successful. So I'll just check how many credit I have right now. So it will show 7 credits. Yeah, because I paid 3 and I had actually 10 in the starting. We'll just pay for a few more rides. And this time I'm traveling on bus number 3. And how many members? I'll just go with 4 members. I'll just do some other travel. Yes, I'm traveling on bus number 1. How many members? 4 members. So it is saying, sorry, you just have 3 credits. You need to add 1 more credit to complete this transaction. Yes, we only had 10 in the starting, so we only have 3 right now. This was the student part. I'll just log out and we'll go to the driver part. So driver part, only driver had this login part. Yes. So employee ID, default employee IDs are EMP126. So we'll go to employee number 3 because we paid him something. So we'll just cross check it. The password is ABC123. Yeah. So we are in the driver section. Driver number 2, employee number 2. Driver 2 drives number 2. This means the driver number 2 is driving bus number 2. Even a driver can shift their bus. Like driver 2 can drive bus number 4. Driver 2 can drive bus number 5. So on. So here driver can select which bus he is currently in. So option 2 shows number of credit he received, number of payments he received throughout the day. So it says 45 because we paid for 3 students. So the total collection of the day is 45. We can even check all the transactions throughout the day. So number of unique transactions is 1. Only 1 unique transaction was there because I paid to him. And the total cash collected is 45, which we saw up. And the transaction breakdown is like registration number, means this registration number student paid 45 rupees. Okay, so we'll just log out for now, and we'll just create a new student and we'll pay him again, and we'll check what are the differences. So we'll just make a student, a new login account. We'll give it registration number 19 BEC1234. Okay, and we'll give it a name of ABC. Okay, account was created, default password was ABC123. So 19 BEC1234, and the password is ABC123. Yeah. So we are inside the that student account. Now we can just add some credit again, because we don't have any credit right now. We'll just add credit. We'll add 10 credits. Confirm yes, and we want to make the transaction. So we'll pay to bus number 2. How many members? We want to give 3 members. Yes, and then we'll just travel, and this time we'll go in bus number 3. How many members? 4 members. Yeah, done. So we'll just simply log out from here, and we'll check the changes in the driver part. We'll log in to driver. Yes. Yeah. EMP2. Password was ABC123. Okay, we'll just check how much money he's having right now. So the total money is 90 because we paid more from the second user. So the total amount of money collected is 90. We'll check the breakdown of all the payments he received. So now 2 unique transactions, because 2 unique people have given him money, and the total money is 90 rupees, and the breakdown of money is the user number, the user ID of the person who has paid, and the amount he has paid, and this was the breakdown. So we'll just log out, and we'll go to the admin section, where admin can access all the drivers information. So we'll just go to admin part. The admin ID is default was ADMIN, and password is ABC123. Sorry, it was ADMIN and ABC123. I just forgot the default password of it's ADMIN and I'll just ADMIN and ABC123. Yeah, we are into admin section right now. So what we can do, we can see all the transaction of the day. from all the bus drivers combined. We'll go with 1. So here it is. The total number of unique transactions in all 6 bus combined are 4, and the total money collected by all buses are 120, which is here. So who all paid? We can just see a name, my name, my registration number of available credits I have. I had 10, I used 7, and now I have 3 left. And this was the second person which we created. Number of available credit, it's same because we also paid 7 here, and it was used 7. So we can see all the transaction of a particular bus right now. So we'll go with bus number 1. So as we see, there was no transaction done by us for bus number 2. We'll check for bus number 2. Yeah. So total number of unique transaction for bus was 2. All that what we were able to see for the bus, now admin can also see. We'll check for bus number 3 also. Here also we can see the total number of unique transaction was 2. Total money collected was 120, and this were the 2 people who gave the money. We'll check for bus number 4 now. Bus number 4 was there was no transaction, and so on. So now we can just log out, and we can just keep on doing this. So the main question is, how does this work? So all the magic is done by the codes here. So this is the main function. From here, this is the main function. The main function is very small actually. This is the main function, and this is very small because I have created function for everything. This is just the initialization of the objects. For like we have functions for everything. I'll start from the top. I created classes. I created a class for student which stored the data. I created a class for the driver, and I made a class for the admin. And so first I'll try to explain everything on a whiteboard. So the system program have basically 3 sections: the student part, the driver part, and the admin part. Student part is divided into 2 subparts: the login part and the registration part. The driver is divided into login. Registration of driver will be done through admin. So admin will define who is the driver and what should be his access information. So in the program, admin can access to driver's information, student information, and it can also modify their information. So the main part of the system was that admin can access everything from students all to driver. So admin should have access to a global data set, a database which admin can access, where driver can upload information, student can upload, but they can't get back the data, like they can't read the data. Admin can update the data, and he can also read all the information. Driver can only read the section of his part, like this is a driver's part, so driver can read his part. Student can read only his part, but admin can read all the part. So how I divided the code was, I made array of pointers which will point to a structure of data where student name, his registration number, and amount he paid, his current balance, everything is stored, and even other class where driver's information is there, it's also a pointer. So through the main database which is actually an array of pointers, admin can access all the information, and similarly student and driver will access their own information, and they will interchange information through this thing. Drivers will have their own database as well, which will keep a copy of main database. So when they are connected to internet, this thing will be copied to main database. And similarly student will also have their own database, and which will be copied to the main database as soon as they are connected to the internet. Now coming up with the payment part. So how the main problem was how we can store the information of all the payments, and then that can go into main database. So what we did, we created a circular linked list for circular queue for every bus. We kept the node size as 500 because in a single day we asked the admin that we asked the contractor, like in every single day around 300 students get into a bus. So we have taken 500 to reduce the to make sure that all the transaction can be loaded, and we have kept 500 so that we can keep the complexity of space also low. So what happened, as soon as some student comes up with his phone, he can scan the QR code of the driver, and the payment will be recorded into driver's circular linked list. Like it's the starting point, it will record the information of the student, the amount of credit he used, everything will be stored. That structure which we created will be stored here, and it will keep on going until the driver is connected to the internet. As soon as driver get connected to the internet, the main database which we talked before will be updated by this thing. This circular queue will dequeue, and which will add to the main database. Similarly, we can have this for all the buses, like this is just for bus number 1. We can have for bus number 2 a circular queue for bus number 2, similarly for 3, and so on. Rest all the information for student can be stored as a linked list, as a pointer, as an array of pointers. As an array of pointer, it can be stored as an array of pointer, and all the data can be accessed by student only and by the admin. Admin can access students data also, and similarly for the driver also. So this was the basic layout of the idea of the coding part, and I'll just show everything on the computer once. As I explained on the whiteboard, this was the function. This is a queue which I was talking about for the payment part. It has 500 nodes, and initially item count was 0. It got all the functions. DQ part, as soon as it will DQ, it will add to that part to the main database. This is the student class. Similarly, we have created an add credit function, driver class. Everything is basically in a form of function. This was for the tracking bus. This was okay. So in C++, I was not able to do online offline, like the driver is online or not online. So what I did, I made a function which is online, and throughout the function while running it, I made sure that this function is true. Only when it is true, the queue will dequeue and add to the main database. So this is what the connection part. This is what that's initializes the connection. Like as soon as we get to the internet connection, we will start sending from circular queue to the main database. Similarly, this was all the function prototype and everything. Similarly, I created everything in a form of function only, so it's easy to read. This was the student section. This was the admin section. Similarly, we have section for student, and we have a section for bus driver also. And we came back to the main function. So let's go to the presentation again. So this is the output. I have already showed all the outputs, and this was the app. Okay, so this is the basic layout of all the pages of the app. I'll just go through the app once. What I'll do, I'll just screen share my phone and I'll just run the app. So this is the app. This is the starting page. Yes. So we have two sections, student as driver, as I said. We don't have admin because admin can use the backend only. We don't need a front end for him. So we'll just go for student and check it. We have two options, registration. We can register and we can go for email ID. So I'll just go for my VIT email ID, and we can just save password. Let's sign up. So it will send a OTP. As of now, the OTP system is not working, so it will directly accept it. So we can just register. I just saved it. Actually, yeah, that was yes. So we came into the part. We have the tracking bus part, we have the payment part, and checking credit part. And this were all things which in the back end too. So we'll just track bus. So as I said, in tracking bus we have a Google map. We have an API which connects to Google map and which gets the location. So right now it's running VID. It's right now it's showing the main gate of VID because there is no bus running right now. So this was basically the tracking of the payment part. So for bus, add credit. So we can just pay here and we can add credit here. How many credit we want to add, and we can just go and pay. Which bus number we want to pay? We want to pay this bus number and number of people we want to pay. And we can just log out. We can just log out and we go to driver and we can log into driver also. So it's EMP1 as I said before, and the password is ABC123 as default. So receive payment and payments log, all the payment log and the receive, everything is here. So basically that was the app which we created, and this is its logo right here. So basically that's all from my side. I hope I have explained everything. Yeah, if you have any doubt, anything regarding the code part or the execution part, you can tell me. I'll do it again. I tried to cover everything. um, Thank you, that's it from my side.